Wow, the hospitals are concerned that their fucking staff is getting overweight and obese. Apparently, that's what it takes to initiate change. Well, welcome to yet another fine Scott the Truck Driver fucking production. I've been working diligently to improve video quality, improve lighting quality, and I got a nicer green screen, so hopefully that doesn't look like a pile of shit right now. But overall, leaving all that shit aside, before I get into this topic, I want to point out a few things. Got to do my plugs to make a living at this. ScottTheTruckDriver.com is available if you would like to tip via the virtual tip jar. And I just launched a new audio download podcast. They'll be slightly longer, audio only MP3s that you download. You can listen to wherever, throw them on your phone. And, listen to them while you're pounding the fuckmaster, while you're taking a shit, while you're driving around, throw them up on Bluetooth or whatever, and you can hear more content, more of me being triggered, more of me talking about health topics, lifestyle topics, and doing some Q&As. I'll be going through the comments on those podcasts and kind of, how I get when I get triggered by a comment. Usually I go off on a little tangent or a rant, and people seem to enjoy that. Hence the live streams becoming successful. But, it's just more content, and it's a way for me to say thank you for people who contribute financially to the channel, making more and more videos possible for those that don't contribute financially. However, if you do not want to do that, that's fine. You're not missing out on much. It's just extra on top of the content that I'm normally able to produce here on YouTube. And so just go ahead and if you want, that's only $2 per episode to download. I'm planning on doing one episode a week. So far, it's going good enough that I feel that I will do more podcasts going forward, and they're not that hard to produce. I'm trying to streamline my video production so that that's a little easier to produce, so I can pump out more content more often. But anyways, this article was submitted to me via one of the Facebook. This comment was submitted by Alex Gumarov via the Facebook page. The link to my Facebook page that you can like and communicate with me through is in the description. I tend to get a lot of articles and videos that way, and people who are comfortable talking to me that way. You can also contact me through ScottTheTruckDriver.com and, submit shit like this. I am developing a research page specifically for the purpose of people being able to submit articles and whatnot. But anyways, thank you, Alex, for your research contribution to the channel. NHS hospital bans sugar from its meals to tackle staff obesity. Well, it's about fucking time. I mean, why haven't we done this for the patients? Okay, you're working on doctor obesity. What about patient obesity? What are you serving them? I hope you're serving them the same stuff that you're serving your, staff who is suffering the same fucking health bullshit as the rest of us while supposedly treating people for the same fucking health bullshit as the rest of us. At some point, we have to wake the fuck up and realize we're doing stupid shit in hospitals to people that is not making them better. It's putting them on more pills, costing them more money, costing them more quality of life, ending the health span and putting them in the medical care to live, department, and the only way you can live is by going to the fucking hospital, getting your 10 prescriptions and taking all your pills, and hopefully you're not hospitalized on top. Hopefully you're not hospitalized on top of that, which will obviously be a pain in the ass for your lifestyle going forward. But there's a number of chronic diseases that could be easily treated with the high-fat, low-carb diet. I've gone over this in previous videos. Ketogenically, the lower your carbs, the more whole foods you get, the less sugar and processed food in your life, the better off you are. And it is a spectrum. I'm at the rather extreme, in the moderate extreme level at 50 grams net carbs per day. But there is a spectrum. The closer you get, the more health benefits you get. And if you're extremely damaged, morbid obese, diabetes, so on and so forth, heart disease, blood pressure, cholesterol levels are not quite proper, but that's a whole other video to discuss on how that works. But, the best thing to do would be to lower your carbohydrate to fix those issues. Get off the meds and stuff. I'm not an expert. Consult with a doctor. Find a doctor who knows this shit. A lot of them don't. And so shop around for a doctor that does. And they do exist. I haven't personally met one in my life yet, but hopefully you're able to find one. If not, it might be time to travel to one of the more famous doctors that is able to treat you, depending on how fucked up you are, A hospital in Manchester has become the first in Britain to ban sugar from its restaurants in an attempt to tackle growing concerns about obesity among NHS staff. So that's, why are they just now doing this? They acknowledge there's a problem. Why aren't we changing the status? Why aren't we changing the standard of care for patients so that they're getting better as well? I mean, that is why the fucking hospital's there. And keep in mind, this is one hospital that's doing this. Not all of them. I'm hoping they set a precedent. I hope they observe the results of their staff so that they can further, expand out into the medical community. Maybe if they have success, they will apply it to patient care. And maybe this is the first step. This is good news. I'm happy about this. But I'm also leery about it too, because we could fuck this up. We fuck up a lot of shit nowadays, and we could easily fuck this up too. So I want to see this expand into patient care. It upset me a long time ago when my mother had her stroke. She was in the hospital, and they saw that her blood sugar was in pre-diabetics, not quite diabetic range even, and they gave her insulin to treat it, and continued to feed her refined carbs and sugar in the process. And that upset the shit out of me because that's their standard of care. That's the way they will treat you. If you go in, and it could not even be a diabetes-related illness. If you go in and they check your blood and your blood sugar is up, guess what they're going to fucking do? They're either going to give you insulin or some kind of drug to manage your blood sugar while not addressing your diet at all. And that's going to cost you a lot more money. I'm thinking food choices from the food cafeteria might be a little cheaper than an IV bag with fucking insulin in it, or metformin or a drug or a pill that you might take. That all gets factored into the final cost. And yeah, some of that goes to the insurance companies, after your copay and whatnot, but we're all paying for that. Everybody that's watching this is paying for other people's medical care through their insurance companies. We're subsidizing each other, and the costs are going up. And we don't tend to get pissed off about it because it's getting covered by the insurance, but in the end, you're paying. And you're not just paying for you, you're paying for everybody. And that's how, we got to start addressing healthcare. It's not a financial problem. It's a health problem. We are in a massive chronic disease fucking health crisis. And the only way to fix it is to fucking address our health. And then we'll drive down the cost of healthcare. Some of it is, genuine. I've seen some dishonest practices amongst hospitals and doctors in my day. I've seen them do it to my mother. I've seen them do it to other people, to where they get you in the treadmill and you have to keep going back to get more pills and more pills and more pills without ever really curing you. You're just constantly on pills the whole fucking time, which for things that honestly could be managed in other ways, especially chronic disease, which we know can be managed with diet and intermittent fasting. So it's disturbing to think that, they're doing something for their staff, which means they know what to do. The fact that they're lowering carbs, raising protein, they haven't addressed fat, which if you read through this article, the link will be in the description, you'll notice that they didn't really talk about fat because they're still standard of care still says fat's bad, saturated fat's bad for you. There's plenty of science proven otherwise. There's plenty of clinical data proven otherwise, and there's plenty of anecdotal data proving otherwise. But their standard of care doesn't give a shit about that because they want to give you the statins. They want to give you the drugs to manage your problem. They don't want you to solve it with nutrition because it's not profitable. So it's good news that this is out there, but I am not holding my breath that this is going to take hold in the larger picture of medical care in our country. I don't anticipate it doing that. It's just a fact of life, and we have to live with it. It is what it is. Smith said, I started here in May, and the menu at that point was standard northern fare, so pie and chips and comfort food, what people are used to. We looked to introduce certain specialized dishes such as wild and mixed mushroom stroganoff, which sounds a little bit carby to me if it has pasta in it at all, served with light couscous. Not sure. I don't even know what the fuck couscous is. What the hell's couscous? Maybe I should look that shit up, do research and shit. These dishes have proved very popular, and they are low in carbohydrates and high in protein. What we are trying to promote is better, healthy eating. Tameside's move comes after an NHS England consultation in November last year found widespread support for a ban on sugary drinks in hospitals and clinics. Well, it's about fucking time you stopped giving soda to your fucking diabetic and obese patients and heart disease patients and started to give them what is probably, here's the question. Are you giving them fruit juice instead? Are you replacing the soda with apple? Because I did notice that. Apple juice and orange juice are a staple when you're hospitalized as far as drinks that they offer you. God forbid it's just water. You're in there trying to heal and you're feeding them shit that's going to fuck up their chronic disease even more. It's important to keep these things in mind when you're doing this. This is, this is not rocket science. Stop feeding your patients shitty foods. This is to all hospitals. There's emphasizing staff in this article. I don't see, obviously patients are using that restaurant too. I don't know if it's the same food that's delivered to your room if you're in a bed, but I don't know. I guess bottom line, if you're in a hospital for one of the chronic diseases that a low carb diet can help improve and get you off medication, you're going to have to sit there and be pretty specific and choosy about the kinds of foods you're eating while you're in that hospital. It might even involve fasting. Although the hospital might start pumping sugar into your fucking veins if you aren't eating. And they'll be pissed, and they're monitoring it. So you really lose a lot of self-control in the hospital. So it would be really great for patient care if they took a low-carb, high-fat approach to diet for patients while you were admitted to the hospital, especially where chronic disease is the reason. Like if you broke your leg, okay, they're probably going to eat the same shit that they normally eat. But if you're in there for a heart attack, you're in there for cancer, you're in there for diabetes, if you're in there for a metabolic disease of any kind, low carb, high fat should be what they are eating. And I would argue even, ketogenic therapeutic levels under 30 or 20 grams of fucking carbs should be what you feed somebody who's trying to recover from or is in a severe state of their chronic disease. And then monitor them, keep their levels, in check, taper off the medication because the medication might kick their blood sugar too low as you lower the carbs coming in, and then eventually you'll be able to wean them off of any blood sugar control medications. Their blood lipid profiles will improve, so you can take them off of statins and all those other drugs. This is to doctors to look into. I'm not suggesting that, you do this without medical approval, but you got to be careful when you go into these places because they're not doing what's right. They're giving you the pills to keep you alive, but they're not treating the underlying causes, which is what you can do when you treat something with nutrition. These are dedicated healthcare professionals who believe they should be role models for their patients, but the food environment has been working against them. And the patients. No shit. I love it when doctors with the same health problems as the rest of us are telling us, to eat less and move more, and then feeding us refined carbs and sugar, and shit tons of fucking high sugar fruits, while, we're suffering from heart disease, diabetes, and all of that, and we're under their care. And then they're just popping the pills in, the metformin, or they're jabbing you with fucking your IV with fucking insulin, and sometimes they're pumping sugar into your body through a fucking IV bag. Sugar right into the blood. Sure, that's good for you. So the bottom line is if you are hospitalized, first of all, if you can have somebody bring you the food you need, that's probably the better option because it's been my experience that it'll be damn near impossible for you to be truly eating healthy as far as remaining low carb, high fat in hospital care. It's going to be difficult, if not impossible, in today's environment. Even at that hospital, I think it'll be difficult to get the healthy fats in. However, that is a step in the right direction that they are lowering carbs. The thing is that I'm seeing from that article is they're not addressing fat because if you lower carbs, you still have to get your calories and you're not going to get them from protein. You need fat. There needs to be eggs. There needs to be real butter. There needs to be, olive oil. There needs to be coconut oil if, for vegans and whatnot that want to be in there that have any of these chronic disease illnesses and no, they're not immune if they're processed food vegans. And there's plenty of processed food vegans who are struggling with health just like the rest of us. More whole foods, raw foods vegans are a little bit better off, but the processed food vegans aren't any better off than standard American dieters in my book. They might get a little bit better, but not much. Not enough to move the fucking needle. And I've known processed food vegans who are suffering immense health problems, including cancer and being obese. So, dose determines the poison. So the lower you can keep your carbs, and if you can eliminate fructose, aka sugar, in pretty much any form that it's delivered to you from your diet, if you're suffering from these diseases, you are stepping in the right direction, even if you don't go all the way to fucking keto. But remember, I'm not a fucking expert. I'm just a fucking asshole. Please like and subscribe for more shit. And I'll make a whole bunch of more shit and shit. Also, one more time, I'd like to reiterate that there is a brand new podcast available. The link is in the description, just $2 a download. ScottTheTruckDriver.com. I will make it a weekly podcast if it is successful. So far, it's looking like I'm going to do a second one, but if it doesn't take off, I'm not going to waste my time with it. So if you guys really like and want more of that kind of content, audio only type stuff, I will continue to make it. If you don't, I won't make it. I'm all about not wasting my time. So there's that. If you found value in this, if I saved you money because you're not going to be on all them fucking prescriptions, and you feel like leaving me a tip in the tip jar, the virtual tip jar is also down below. Please check out my website and my daily Monday through Friday blog. I'm going through the alternate day diet and what the ins and outs of that as far as, how my progress is going. I'm testing out different protocols on myself involving fat fasting and different ways to apply it. So the current is the alternate day diet with the 600 to 800 calories of fat on my fasting days and normal ketogenic eating on my eat days in a, alternate day type style, as in one day is a fast day, ending at midnight or whenever I go to bed, and then the next day is a feast day, eat what I want intuitively. And, if you want to keep up with that, keep an eye on that channel. As far as other projects, I'm working on the research page, which should be up by next week, to where you can submit articles and, things that you want me to look into and discuss on the channel. And you will, of course, if I use one of your researches, I will credit you in the credits for whatever video that I chose to use your topic for. Of course, I will also cite the original authors of any studies or, videos and so on and so forth. And if you have a YouTube channel and you want to try and promote it that way, if I look into it and it's good and I feel that you're giving valuable information, that too could end up in a video. So we'll keep this shit going. I also, I've been getting messaged. I don't know if you guys watched a while back, the video where I debated with the vegan hater. That vegan hater has been kind of asking me over and over again to debate veganism live in a live stream format. And then I went and checked out his channel to see if I was interested in, revisiting going back and forth with him, even though we already kind of did it in a video style format. He made a video about my shit, I made a video about his shit, and I was ready to leave that at that. I'm gonna say I'm not really interested in debating him, mainly because I just looked at his latest video where we debated with a kid that is a carnivore, and it was a very disturbing video for me to watch. So I don't know if I'm wanting to spend time debating veganism. I think I do so pretty effectively throughout my channel, with the science and the things that I've, shown, But maybe in the future when I'm more set up for it, I don't know. I still want to set up some Skype and stuff so that people can call in and talk during live streams and whatnot. I'm not going to put video up because you never know what somebody's going to whip their dick out on your fucking live stream and, get you fucking banned from YouTube and shit. So there's that. So I hope you guys like the new setup, because this is going to make videos a little more streamlined, because I can literally just put the camera there, put the chair here, or stand here and record. I got everything set up to where it doesn't take a lot of time to get going. So I should be able to at least film more. It's not going to solve the editing workflow anyway. So, have a nice motherfucking day. And shit.